Hi, my name is Deepak. I am doing masters in cybersecurity and digital forensics. Here is my dissertation poster. The topic is automated security test for web application, and this is my reassessment. I'll clarify the points which I have overcome, the experimental methodology, and detailing the procedures followed by any control measure implemented, and the data collection techniques employed throughout the experiment. This will provide a clear understanding of experimental setup and its reliability. The topic is automated security test for web application. The automated security test for web application refers to the process of using specialized software tools and scripts to automatically assess the security of a web application. The testing is conducted to identify vulnerabilities, weakness, and potential threats in a web application code and configuration and the infrastructure. The primary goal of my testing is to protectively discover and address security before they can be exploited. There are many types of testing are there, which is vulnerability scanning, penetration testing, web application firewall, authentication and authorization testing, data security testing, API testing. In this, I am going to choose vulnerability scanning, which are automated tools, which is useful for my automated security test that scans web application for known security vulnerabilities. In this, I am going to test three known vulnerability web application, which is going to detect issues like outdated software, misconfigured servers, and common application vulnerabilities such as SQL injection. The overview. Functionality of my intensive testing is burp repeater, which allows through the testing of applications by enabling users to modify HTTP requests and compare the corresponding response. The identification of the injection flaws, which is it assists the identifying injection such as SQL by allowing users to install SQL payloads and observe the application response for potential error, which I will show in my demonstrated process, and I will explain this step by step. And discovering my cross scripting issues, which is called XSS. The tool helps to discover XSS vulnerability by allowing users to craft HTML and JavaScript payloads. Finally, the burp repeater is a versatile tool that plays a precious role in the burp suite ecosystem, offering a range of features to help the security professional and identify and address the vulnerabilities in web application. Coming to aim and objectives, the main goal is to assess how well they accurately different automated security methods can find vulnerabilities in web application. The following steps I am going to take is to choose a variety of well-known vulnerability apps, which is Security Shepherd, Gary Project, and Damn Vulnerable app to act as a dependable. And by establishing a divided environment, executing a every program on a different virtual machine, and to perform a security testing using standard tools such as burp suite, and I will evaluate each tool's effectiveness by timing how long it takes to complete through the scan and gauging how user friendly. To track these positives and detection accuracy is ordered to each tool dependently. Finally, uh, how well the tool is works for Finally, how will the tool work for different types of problems such as cross-site scripting and cross-site request forgery? By understanding how the tool affects the overall security website, the researchers will help in making online world safer. Coming to rational, my research plan outlines a comprehensive approach to evaluating the effectiveness of burp repeater tool in identifying vulnerabilities in well-known web application. By installing three well-known vulnerable web application in isolated virtual machines to create a controlled and republical environment. This ensures the testing condition consistent or controlled and employ the burp repeater systematically on each web application. This iteratively modify the input and analyze the response to identifying potential vulnerabilities. Based on the results, I will draw conclusion about burp repeater's ability to detect security issues comprehensively and effectively. This will provide insights into effectiveness as a web application security testing tool. Coming to literature review, my the my research explanation provides a thorough overview of SQL injection vulnerabilities. the potential risk associated with them, and strategies to mitigate this risk. SQL injection. SQL injection is described as a common and highly dangerous security flaw in online web application. It occurs when attackers manipulate user to input malicious SQL code into web application. The condition for exploitation is vulnerability is often successful when input is not properly verified. When input is not verified properly, it is easy to parameter before being used to construct SQL queries. The attackers are typically insecure input fields in web forms in the form of URLs and introducing malicious SQL code. And the SQL injection techniques are input validation, parameter queries, stored procedures, and object related mapping and web application firewalls. Theoretical frameworks highlights the importance of developer understanding and adherence to security principle effectively defending the web application against the SQL injection attacks. Coming to methodology, my study aims to assess the effectiveness and precision of automated security testing techniques for identifying vulnerabilities in web application game. The chosen web application are Gary Project and Diamond Vulnerable App and Security Shepherd are chosen for the well documented vulnerabilities. The selected tools are OVZAP and Burp Suite and Acutics and NetSpac and Double Three. In this, I'm going to use OVZAP, Burp Suite, which is a renowned of web application penetration testing with modular architecture allowing collaboration between various tools. By conducting by conducting the different tests, the evaluation procedures are the basic setup. I will list all the web application and the automated scanning phase, and the third phase is verifying by review and identify vulnerabilities to confirm validity and the result analysis. This research plan outlines the systematic evaluation process including baseline setup, automated scanning, and manual verification and result analysis. Now I'm going to find the vulnerabilities in the three vulnerable web application using the automation security testing tool. The tool is called Burp, which is Burp Suite is a Burp Suite is a software security application that used for penetration testing or for web application. There are two versions of there, which is community version and the pro versions. And now I'm going to use the Burp Suite community version. First, we need to set up the proxy, which we have to install the proxy server called certificate called CACRT certificate. By installing the proxy into, we need to import in this. After importing, first we need to go to the burp proxy and make the intercept is on. The burp proxy means which operates a web proxy server between the browser and the target application, and it enables us to the intercept, which is and modify the traffic passes in both direction we can use. I'll turn on the intercept. Intercepting is a request. Burp proxy lets us to intercept the HTTP request and response sent between Burp browser and the target server, and this enables the website behaves when us to perform the different action. I'll just open the Burp browser. It takes some time. Yeah, in this we are going to capture the request which we are going to find. I'll get the This is the three vulnerable web application. In this we are going to find the these are the three vulnerable web application. I'll find the first three vulnerable application. I'll just copy this and paste into the vulnerable ports burger. I'll just capture the request. So now we can find the request which we have found on. Now we need to go to the repeater. Why repeater? Because repeater allows security professional and develop manually read the HTTP request. Now we need to send the request of the particular application to the repeater. For this we need to click on we need to send repeater. We got the request from the repeater. In this, we need to manipulate every line of code by selecting the line, or automatically it will run the code by sending the request and the response. Here we can find the request tab and the response tab. The response tab is on the other hand what the web application sends back to the user browser after processing the received request. When you are selecting one line of request, you can find the how many requests we can attribute in this, and code headers and response body which contains the actual line. Now we are going to send the request to the response where the client, this interacts between the client and the servers. Here we got the response, the code of response for the tab which we have opened. In this we can see the UI page of the web application which we are going to find the vulnerabilities. This is the vulnerable web application which we have entered in the Portswigger tab. Now we need to collect the now we need to send the servers to each and every response to find the web application until all the request is done. After sending, in this we can find the vulnerabilities. These are the vulnerabilities for SQL injection. There are many classification of vulnerabilities we found in the first vulnerable app. Like this we need to find for two more app. Coming to research outcome and discussion, the Burp Suite repeater tool provides the quite helpful in detecting the vulnerabilities during the web application testing, and it enables the methodological alteration of HTTP requests in order to investigate the all input vectors, compass answers for difference, discovering SQL exploit and access problem, access control and concerns. By changing the parameter to follow object reference and take down functionally, the repeater aided mapping whole application logic flows. And the conclusion is the my research finding from using the repeater tool in Burp Suite look into the web application security are compiled. The primary goal of my study was to assess the repeater tool's effectiveness, identifying the vulnerabilities in depth to detect practically insight by enhancing web application security, and the repeater tool which provides the advanced approach for analyzing assessing specialists because it exposed the vulnerabilities pertaining to SQL injection and cross-site scripting and server-side issues. Its significance was particularly enabled, and the repeater tool enabled the request modification and response analysis. To this, using this Burp Suite tool, we can find the vulnerabilities in the web application which uses for business and data problems. We can find the vulnerability and we can stop hacking from the hackers. Thank you so much.